here courtside at the Health Center. Jeff Waybright, Brian Johnson here for tonight's cross-county matchup, the Vikings and the Ravenswood Red Devils in town. Jeff, should be a great night, packed house. Everyone excited for two really good teams to face off here tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt, Brian. I look across the way at the Ripley High School student section, and it is packed out, and they are revved up and ready to go. Same behind us with Ravenswood. Standing room only here at the Health Center, so great atmosphere for high school basketball, and one of the premier matchups throughout the state, Ripley, Ravenswood. Everybody talks about it, and nobody knows whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball. You just don't know what you're going to get until the game starts, and there have been upsets along the way. There have been blowouts along the way, so we're here tonight. We'll figure it out, and we'll find out. Ravenswood leads the series all time, 82-73. Amazing to think how close that is after all these years of playing. The Vikings 5-0 for the first time since 2007, and if they win tonight, Jeff, they will be 6-0 for the first time since 1964-65. It's amazing, it really is, and you know, there was a stretch there where the Vikings took control of this series. I think 10, 11, 12 maybe in a row, and just had it rolling, and Coach Price comes back last year. I think the first game over here especially, a lot of people thought that Ripley would probably dominate with their size, and it just didn't happen. The guard play for Ravenswood, the shooting of Ravenswood was just too much to overcome, and we took the defeat. So revenge factor here tonight. The guys aren't oblivious to what's going on. They know what's on the line. Undefeated season for the Vikings. Ravenswood now has a blemish in their record after the Williamstown loss. So I know they're wanting to get back on the winning trail, and I know this Viking team wants to be undefeated. First time in a lot of years. Well, both teams back out on the floor shooting. The Vikings to our left, Red Devils to our right. For the Vikings to get to that 6-0 mark, Jeff, what has to happen here tonight? Well, you got to take care of the basketball. You can't turn it over. Mick Price is very good about jumping into things and catching you by surprise, whether it's in the half-court defense or maybe full-court pressure after a miss. You know, he's got it down to an art. They may do something different on a make. They may do something on a miss. They may do something different on a made foul shot, may do something different on a missed foul shot. So you just can't go to sleep in the backcourt. If our guys do, it's going to be a quick turnover and easy bucket. We've got to take care of the basketball. Brian, we got to shoot the ball well. We talked about it. Coach Mullins talked about it. If we can shoot the ball like we did up in Lincoln County, we're going to be fine, because the inside game is then complemented by the outside shooting, and they both work very well together. So we have to do that. We have to play smart. Can't get in foul trouble. Can't get Luke Johnson or Brady Anderson in fouls early in the game. Look for Ravenswood to have an Academy Award night tonight on flopping. Yes. And they're going to fall anytime there's a little bit of contact inside. Try to get these officials who love to call the charge blowing that whistle early. All the dignitaries are out tonight, Jeff. They've rolled the sidewalks up in Jackson County. Everyone is here tonight, including my bride and my two little guys who are typically in bed at this time of night, and they're excited to be here along with several other Jackson Countyans. And Jeff, I know you are too, buddy. I'm fired up. This is one of my favorite nights of the year. I'm trying to stay calm, but there's just something about this, and you bringing those lads here tonight, buddy. You can't start them too early, that's for sure. Coach Mullins comes over, give us our pregame fist. Good to have the Bloxton brothers here too as well. They do a fantastic job following the Red Devils around the state of West Virginia. We'll step out. We'll return with the starting lineups and tonight's opening tip. Here from the Health Center, you've been listening to the WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to tip-off right here on C98.
featuring the Red Devils of Ravenswood High. Here to take on your Ripley Vikings. At this time, we invite you to stand and remove your caps as we honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of a bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome to our fans from Ravenswood.
Here is the starting lineup for your Red Devils. Wearing a number 2, a senior, Matthew Cart. Wearing number 4, a sophomore, Noah Dawson. Number 5, junior, Bo Bennett. Number 12, junior, Logan Alfred. Number 23 is senior, Drew Hunt. And the rest of the Devils, coached by Mick Price, Brian Canterbury, and Andy Wise. And now the starting lineup for your Ripley Vikings. He's a junior. He wears 23, Cade Good. Number 21, a junior, Brady Anderson. Number 20, a junior, Virgil Myers. Number 11, a senior, Isaiah Casto. Number 1, a senior, Luke Johnson. And the rest of the Vikings, coached by Derek Mullins, Jameson Hunt, and Steve Hunt.
Thank you, Mike Rubin. Starting lineups tonight, as always. Best in the business. Lucky to have him on the broadcast with us as any way possible. The Vikings out on the floor in their home white. Vikes across the chest, blue numerals, gray trim. Red Devils make their way out on the floor. Road black, red lettering, red numerals, and white trim. Matthew Cart will jump it against Luke Johnson, it appears. Matthew's only given up about a foot, Jeff, so.
Matthew Cart was a thorn in our side as far as scoring last year. I don't know about this jump ball situation. He's trying to cheat and get up there and get it, but
Matthew very nifty with the basketball, and the Vikings have it to start this ball game, moving right to left from our broadcast position. Isaiah across the timeline. Zone defense here, right out of the gate by the Devils. Coach McPrice going to make us make shots. Cade Good will take one. Too strong. Tip kept alive, and Luke gets it and lays it up and in.
Johnson inside, very aggressive to start this game off the high arcing miss from Good.
2-0 Vikings lead it. Here's Hunt with it right wing. In the corner to Dawson. He penetrates, loses a handle. Ball's loose. Dug out by Alfred. Alfred off to Dawson. Dawson back to Hunt. Hunt steps into a three. Good.
Can't leave him open. The senior guard is deadly from out there, and you just can't let him get going.
Steps into it. Beautiful shot. 3-2. Devils lead it in the early going. 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Isaiah Casto off to Virgil Myers. Back to Isaiah. Down on the block they go to Brady, and they turn it over.
And you called it, Brian. Front back, down inside. They're playing a zone, but they're collapsing down inside on Brady and on Luke.
Alfred penetration, 8-foot jumper, no good. Maybe some contact there, no call. Here's Virgil in transition. Back to Luke. Luke baseline, reverses it out to Good. He'll shoot a three, left wing, in and out. Rebounded by Cart.
And the one thing Ravenswood will do is box you out on the defensive end. Very well coached, as we talked about, and they sealed off Brady and Luke that time.
Matthew Cart killed the Vikings. You mentioned a moment ago, straight line drives to the basket, even in the half court. He was fantastic, especially at the pit last year. And the Vikings certainly have their work cut out tonight. And Drew Hunt was somewhat quiet in both of those games last year. To get him going early is big from Coach Mick Price's team. And another mid-range jumper, Matthew Card buries it. Largest lead for the Red Devils here early going. 5-2, they lead at 5:50 to go here in the first quarter.
And that's what they can do that, we have our suspect to from time to time. They are good jump shooters.
Mid-range jump shooters, too. Here's Luke on the block. A little floater up and in from the baseline.
They can't stop him, and Coach Smallins wants us up into full court press, and we fell asleep. Not who Virgil's guarding, but he was running back up the floor, and he was trying to exhort our guys to get down and put pressure.
A guy of his size, he has great touch on that little 7-8-foot jump shot. Here's a drive by Dawson, cut off by Johnson. Back to Bennett, shot no good, rebounded by the Vikings and Brady Anderson.
You see what penetration gets you. A wide open look that time. Bo just couldn't get that ball to fall.
Throw it into Johnson, double teamed, and they're going to call a foul. That will probably be on Logan Alfred. We will see as we await the indication. It is. That'll be his first and the team's first.
And it looks like they've implored the no layup rule. They're not going to give that a shooting foul. That's a little odd.
Well, the way we shot free throws the last time we were on this floor, Jeff, I would not at all be concerned about putting us to the line if I'm Mick Price. Throw it in the backcourt. Virgil has it. Out near the time stripe, actually. Off to Cade, right wing. Back to Virgil. He'll shoot a three right of the circle. Got it. Vikings back on top.
7-5 our score with the three by Virgil. That time, stroked that one, didn't hesitate.
Mr. Excitement in the scoring column. Here's Noah Dawson off to Bennett, left wing. Back to Dawson in the far corner. He'll penetrate baseline, cut off by the Viking defense. Here's Bennett. He'll pull up. 10-footer over the 7-footer. Nice touch by Bo Bennett.
And our on-ball defense thus far has not been very good, Brian. They have had guards open all night long.
7-7 your score. Here's Virgil with it again. Dawson comes out to defend him. Back to Cade. Cade penetrates. Virgil back to Cade, left of the circle. Now Luke straight away, down on the block. He tries to force it to Anderson. Drew Hunt, good defense. Bats it away into the hands of Cade. Now back to Virgil. Coach Price wanted to travel to no avail. Maybe got away with one there. Here's a nice drive by Isaiah. Loses a handle. Triple team, can't convert. Rebounded by Cart.
7-7 score. Here come the Red Devils on the push.
Cart off to
Walk, got
Dawson.
away with it.
And he takes it straight to the rack, and the Vikings trying to block it from behind, allow a straight line drive, and the Devils are back on top. Dylan Casto will check in here at the next dead ball. Maybe he'll get him out of this flat defense, Jeff. They've got 4 guys playing down around the block. Here's Good. Back to Johnson. Cross court to Virgil. Virgil back to Isaiah. Daring him to shoot it. He will. Right of the circle. Got it.
He did that up at Lincoln the other night, and he's perfect here tonight.
He's got to shoot it if they're going to allow him that much room, especially if he's knocking a couple of down. Now they're going to have to defend that. And a turnover, extra step by Bo Bennett. Vikings have it. Out of the ball game comes Good, Kate Good, and in comes Dylan Casto.
That was a interesting walk call there. He kind of went to a jump stop and
Almost like he lost his footing a little bit, Jeff. It was a little bit awkward.
we'll take it as Casto comes up the floor for the Vikings.
Isaiah into the front court, off to Anderson at the elbow, back to Isaiah, left of the circle. Penetrates, Drew Hunt bats it out of there. Isaiah keeps a hold of it. Now the ball is loose, and Isaiah, there's a scrum. Hunt down there along with Dawson, and it's a tie-up.
Going to be Ravenswood ball, I believe.
Turnover Vikings.
No reason to dribble into a triple team. Just move the ball and take a step in. Make a pass, take a step. Make a pass, take a step. Next thing you know, your feet are in the paint.
Isaiah has been fantastic with the basketball all year long. Tried to do a little too much that time. And an offensive foul is going to be called on the Devils.
Dawson, I believe.
It will be Dawson. Virgil comes out. Hedrick will check in for him. Coach Mullins, you can already see shuffling players in and out.
But you got to make the press, partner, and we've got to start knocking down buckets.
10-9, the Vikings lead it. Here's Hedrick, right wing. Back to Isaiah, top circle. Hedrick trying to get it to Johnson. Now Dylan Casto with it, back to Isaiah. Isaiah straight away between the circles, and they'll reset the offense. Getting a little stagnant sometimes. We do this in the half court. Now they're going to start moving across the baseline. Dylan Casto, far corner. Back to Isaiah. Can't get it to him as they're forcing the Vikings
We
to
got to
make
go high-low. It was for flat on the baseline. All they got to do is stand inside. There we go.
Here's Isaiah, gets a screen from Johnson, off to Hedrick. 1:40 to go first quarter. Dylan Casto guarded out there by Matthew Cart. Dylan back to Luke. Luke will shoot a three right of the circle. Got it.
That's a dagger when the big man steps out there. They're worried about him getting a two-pointer inside. He knocks down the three.
13-9. Worst case scenario for Coach Mick Price if we are making those shots here tonight. And we have so far, but we have shown the ability to go cold quickly. So we'll see if we can keep this pace up. Here's Drew Hunt with it. Back to Alfred. Alfred to Dawson. Dawson head and shoulders fake. Spins into the paint. Back out to Alfred. He'll shoot a three. In and out. Rebounded by Isaiah.
Good job by Isaiah of coming back. They drew our big guys out on the perimeter a little bit that time. Now Isaiah wisely went back there and gets back there and gets that rebound.
Vikings look to add to their lead. Hedrick drives, reverses it back out to Isaiah. They'll reset the offense. Isaiah guarded pretty closely by Hunt. Hedrick and then Casto. Yo-yo back and forth. Now in the corner, Dylan Casto. Long three, in and out.
He's got to shoot that one, though, Brian. Wide open in the corner.
Rebounded by Drew Hunt. Yeah, he has to continue to shoot. Drew Hunt with it, near corner. Has the ball stolen. Good play by Dylan Casto. Here come the Vikings the other way, and Hedrick loses it out of bounds. Back to Ravenswood.
The senior had a bunny and just got a little excited, I think, as substitutions. Myers will replace Anderson. Casto comes out of the game.
Good back in the game as well with 14.8 to go. The Vikings will turn up the full court pressure and now back it off. Across the timeline comes Bo Bennett, angling near side. Hands it off to Drew Hunt, 7 seconds. Cart with it, right wing, 5 seconds. Guarded closely by Good, 3 seconds. 2 seconds, he's going to have to force something. Hunt gets a look at a three, in and out. Vikings dodged a bullet. Wow. Hunt got a better look than he should have. Good offense, good patience by Matthew Cart to set him up. And the Vikings will take a 13-9 lead into the second period. We'll step out. You are listening to Ripley Viking basketball right here on C98, The Bull. shoot 60% in the first quarter. Red Devils shoot 56%. They both had 3 turnovers. And, Jeff, we're only +1 on the glass. Coach McPrice has to be pleased with that after one quarter.
Yeah, we're not getting very many second or third shot opportunities on the offensive end. We did the first time Luke got his first bucket, he was able to corral a rebound off a high arcing 3 by Good and lay it back in. But other than that, we haven't gotten a whole lot of second and third chances.
So the Vikings will have the basketball, moving from our right to left. 13-9, they lead it as we begin the second period of action here from the Health Center. The 156th matchup between these two teams. Here's Luke, another 3. Got it. Big man feeling it from the perimeter tonight. Give the assist to Hedrick, and the Vikings lead swells to 7. There's a drive by Cart to the basket, cut off by Anderson. Back to Dawson. Dawson to the elbow, reverses back to Hunt. Hunt left elbow. Now they swing it across the top of the circle. Alfred back to Hunt. Corner to Dawson. Dawson baseline drive. Triple teamed. Reverses it. Back in the corner. 3 on the way. No good. That was Bennett. Luke High for the rebound.
Now if we can turn these into points, we can slowly start pulling away here a little bit.
Hedrick to Dylan Casto. He'll step into a 3 right of the circle. Got it. There we go. That's the guy we've been looking for to get going in the Vikings with a 10-point lead just like that, and he shot it without hesitation.
I'm not going to charge him. He keeps shooting like that, no charge.
You gave him a quick shooting tip in pregame, and he started shooting with quite rhythm, and you could see it right there, and he shot it with some defense in his face as well as we get a 30-second timeout here by Coach Mick Price.
No hesitation. When he does that, Brian, he is smooth as silk. And he'd been hesitating a little bit. He'd been cupping the ball a little bit, shooting it off the top of his head. And you just can't be consistent that way. He's going to make a couple just because he's a good shooter. But that stroke right there, that'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
You know how bad he wants it? He was in here for 2 hours on Christmas Day shooting. He wants to find that shot. He
should have called me. I'd have came and played with him.
His dad told me he was in here working, and his dad said, I hope I didn't mess his shot up. I said, well, if he misses a couple, I'm going to blame it on you.
Well, yeah.
1 for 2 so far. The Vikings, 3 of 4 from behind the arc here in the early going. Here's Hunt with it. 10-point Viking lead. Right of the circle. Alfred penetrates, turns against the Viking defense. Now back out to Hunt. He'll fire a 3 right wing. Got it.
No reason to leave him to go double Alfred. You give up maybe a 2 for a wide open 3, and you just can't do that. Hedrick, the senior, he just can't play it that way.
And Drew Hunt can flat shoot it. Hedrick in some trouble now. Back out to Good. Maybe got away with a 3-second call. 19-12, the Vikings lead it. Here's Luke. Cross court to Dylan. Dylan goes to work on Bennett. Back to Luke. 1 power dribble, ball swatted away. Gathers it back in. Triple teamed. Finally going to be fouled.
And triple and quadruple team that time, the big man. Ravenswood went man-to-man there, Brian, and we recognized it very quickly. Got Luke deep in the hole, and he was shooting the ball.
It's really going to test his patience this year, Jeff, when he's got people hanging on his arms. I love his demeanor so far. He doesn't get too upset one way or the other, but now there's a little bit of a discussion as to whether this should be a shooting foul. Alfred will have to check out of the ball game. He's got some blood on his leg.
Yeah. Steve Lowe, trainer for the Vikings, is over here, and he's going to attend to him to get that bleeding stopped, wrap it up a little bit.
So Isaiah Casto back in. Hedrick will have a seat. Brady Anderson back in. Dylan Casto will also sit down for a moment. Luke makes the free throw. He has 11 points so far here in this ball game. What you would expect out of the big man.
And Coach Mullins doing that shuffle with the getting players in. Brady with the rebound.
Misses one, gets the rebound, does Brady, and then he turns it over.
He got it out of position. He got the rebound. He knew he needed to get rid of it, and he did, but they still called the walk-on and Brady.
Bibby has checked in for the Red Devils as well. 20-12, the Vikings lead it. Drew Hunt goes to work on K. Good. Nice move into the paint Drop pass on the baseline to Dawson. Now in the corner they go to Cart. Cart defended closely by Isaiah, and now Luke's going to pick up a cheap one out on the perimeter.
And those are the ones we don't need, and coach is telling him to back off.
You certainly don't want him picking up fouls that far from the basket, but that's exactly what happened. Alfred checks back in.
Bibby out for the Devils.
Bennett will inbound it on the far sideline, having trouble getting it in. Drew Hunt with it now off the inbounds. Hands it off to Dawson, or Bennett, excuse me. Now Alfred with it, goes to work on Luke. Looking to try to get him his second foul. Isaiah nearly picked a pocket of Cart, and that's quite a battle between those 2 point guards.
And you could hear Coach Price as Cart got that ball on the perimeter and he was guarded by Johnson. He said, go at him. They want that second foul on the big man as quickly as possible.
20-12, Vikings lead it by 8. Largest lead of the night has been 10 so far. Dawson to Hunt. Hunt swings it cross court to Bennett. Bennett goes to work on Myers. Now Cart with it. Guarded by Castro. Nice move. Contested three on the way. Got it. What a shot. Matthew Cart. Fantastic shot. 5-point Viking lead.
And you shoot a few thousand of them during the summer, and you get a lot of confidence. And he's done that for a lot of years, Brian. He's a nice player.
Virgil Myers with it. Back to Casto. Isaiah between the circles. Barking out signals, trying to set his offense up. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Isaiah back to Good. Down on the block, they go to Anderson. Left-hand shot up and in. That was a beautiful design play. 22-15.
No doubt where that ball was going.
So Anderson into the scoring column here tonight. Here's Cart, straight line drive all the way to the bucket. Nobody stops him. Looks like a replay of last year. He is so good with the basketball.
And you just got to play him to his right side, Brian. Make him go left, and then, you know, you're hard on the ball. Then somebody's got to be help, and there was, as you saw, no help.
22-17, Viking defensive breakdown, in large part to the ball handling skills of Matthew Cart. Isaiah across the top circle, hands it off to Myers. Myers to Luke. Luke turns, takes it all the way to the bucket. He was fouled, no call. Put back by Brady Anderson. You could hear the slap all the way on the other side of the floor. No call. 24-17, the Vikings back to a 7-point lead. Cart to Alfred, crossover. Cut off at the elbow. Now Hunt with it. He'll penetrate into the paint. Double teamed. Back to Alfred. Left wing. Three. Got it. They can flat shoot the basketball, and that's how they're staying in the ball game. 24-20. Vikings lead it. 3:34 to go. Clock turning. Dylan Casto back at the table. He'll check in next dead ball. Trying to force it down to Luke. Double teamed. Isaiah steps into that three. He's already made one this afternoon, or this evening rather. Virgil, nice overplay there by Matthew Cart. Nearly comes away with the steal. Luke in the far corner, thought about a three. Back to Virgil. In the corner to Good. Good, baseline drive all the way to the basket. Contact. And I did not see the call, Jeff, but I think it's going to be on the Devils.
It's going to be on Alfred. He came underneath of Cart. Cart had already left the floor. He didn't give him a place to come down, and they're going to call the foul.
That's two on Alfred. They only go about 6 deep. Good's free throw, too strong. What is it about our gym that's causing us to shoot so poorly?
It looks like we're aiming it and pushing it instead of just catching it and shooting it.
Bibby back in. Hunt will check out. Anglin in for him. So Hedrick in the ball game. Dylan Casto in for Virgil Myers. And Good misses both. Free throw woes continue at home. Noah Dawson with the rebound. Devils can cut it to a point with a three. Vikings lead it 24-20. 2:55 clock turning first half. There's Bennett. He'll reset the offense. Cross court. Now to Dawson in the corner to Bibby. Bibby to Anglin. Anglin guarded by Hedrick. Hand off to Dawson. Trying to get it back into the hands of Bennett. Yo-yoing the basketball across the top of the circle. Here's Bennett. Anglin near corner, guarded by Hedrick, and a foul on the reach by Carson Hedrick, his first, team second. No foul trouble, which is somewhat surprising, Jeff, when you look at this game.
You look at Ravenswood's lineup, they got one scorer on the floor. Which number's he? 2.
That would be number 2.
And you just play him solid. We don't have to try to steal. You're not going to steal it from him. If you think you are, you're kidding yourself.
He's going to beat you and get a straight line drive to the basket.
That's exactly right. So just play him solid, and if he goes to the jump shot, get a hand up.
They get it
just
into
like
Hart's hand. He'll step into a straightaway 3. Got it.
And
he
it's
has
because
10.
you're guarding him so close, a slip screen brings him open, or if you overplay him and miss, he's going to beat you.
Mick Price is going to get you some screens to get you a shot. No question about it. Dylan Casto back to Isaiah Casto between the circles. He'll drive, spin move in the paint. He's going to be called for a travel. The Vikings melting a little bit here in this second period.
And it's the offense is having its woes, but we're giving up way too easy shots. Brian, most of their shots for the night have been uncontested. Now, they've been jump shots, and they've been knocking them down, but that's the kind of team they are.
Isaiah Casto out. Virgil Myers back in. Drew Hunt in as well. Another scorer back on the floor for the Red Devils. There's Bibby. He loses. They're going to say it was off of Brady Anderson. I think that's a tough call on Brady.
It sure is, and Bibby doesn't want any part of Brady being out there on him as substitutions again as Bennett enters the game for Dawson in the Red Devil lineup. But you notice, Brian, we've got Hedrick on Cart, and he's just staying in front of him.
Here's Bennett driving out to Hunt. Nice move into the paint. A lot of contact, no call. Luke pulls down the rebound. Hedrick will bring it up the far sideline.
But that's one thing about Drew Hunt. You don't see a bunch of emotion, complaining or anything like that. He just goes down the floor and makes the play.
Great kid and a good player. A lot of good minutes for the Red Devils. Here's Anderson, shot up no good, rebounded by Bennett. Red Devils chance to grab the lead. First time since midway through that first period as we dip under a minute remaining here in the first half, 24-23. There's Hart. He'll step into a deep 3. That one's off the mark. Virgil with the rebound.
Here come the Vikings on the run.
Mr. Excitement all the way to the basket. Puts it up, won't go. Tip by Johnson, won't go. Ball's loose. Virgil under the basket, digs it out, and we have a tie-up.
It's going to be, I thought that was, did we get the last possession? I thought it should have stayed with us.
Red Devils will get it.
23 good returns for the Vikings.
Good back in. Anderson will sit. Bennett inbounds it to Dawson. We'll bring it across the timeline. 30 seconds. Hunt with it. Back to Dawson. Dawson penetrates. Hunt to Bibby. Back to Bennett. They're going to hold for the final shot, as you would imagine.
There it is.
10 seconds. Cart, 3. Too strong. Vikings dodge a bullet.
Still got time.
Myers, 3 seconds into the front court. All the way to the basket. Scoop shot, no good. Putback won't go, and the Vikings will lead it by a single point here at the break. 24-23. Vikings and the Devils squaring off at the Health Center will return with the Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report after this, right here on C98, The Bull.
Got to be aware of too. We can't be playing our guys, face guarding them, and allowing him to get in gaps. Somebody should be there to help. He got a straight line drive, not once, not twice, maybe even 3 times, and you just can't let him do that. He'll burn you, and that's how they crawled their way right back into this game, along with some errant shooting by the Vikings.
We're shooting 63% from 3, 47% overall from the floor, and 25% from the line. What is it about the Health Center that's causing us to shoot so poorly from the charity stripe? That makes, in the last game and a half here, that makes 15 of 37 from the charity stripe. If we don't fix that in the second half, we will lose.
And that is something, Brian, that, you know, most teams at home shoot well. I mean, it's your rims, it's your background, it's your fan base for the most part. You know, step up there and knock those things down. And good shooters are missing foul shots. So we got to start knocking them down. You're exactly right.
Feels like the post should open up a little bit with us being 5 of 8 from behind the arc, but we've really struggled to get the basketball to Luke. He only has 6 shots in that first half, 11 points. He's 1 of 2 from the line. He only has 3 rebounds. Coach McPrice has done a fantastic job keeping these big guys off the glass. They have 7 rebounds between the two of them, 4 for Brady, 3 for Luke, and they're both shooting well. They just haven't shot many times, only 9 total shots between our 2 bigs. What is it Ravenswood's doing that's making it so tough?
Well, the front back and Luke, of course, and we all know. I mean, Luke has not shown through his career somebody who just goes in there and fights and knocks people out of the way to go get. He's more of a finesse player in there. If he's got a place to go, he'll get there. He'll get his hand on the ball. He'll tip it to keep it alive. Ravenswood is not allowing him to get close enough to the basket to allow him to keep that ball alive and then have a close shot. Brady has just got to get the handle. He's got to catch it first, be strong with the basketball. If we can isolate him, there's no way they can guard him. If he fakes inside, drop steps, 1 power dribble and powers it up, they got to foul him or give him a layup. We've seen it happen once, clean. The other thing we can't do is try to make an entry pass from the top of the key to the low post. I don't care if it's Luke or if it's Brady, if they're 6'11 or if they're 6'5. That's a hard pass to throw and an even harder pass to catch. It's easier to swing the ball, make the defense move, screen across, let somebody flash to the low post, and when they're open, throw it to them. We hesitate sometimes, so we've got to do a little bit better there, but it's there. We just got to take advantage of it.
Basketball game's up in the air here tonight at the Health Center, 24-23 game here at the break. Step out when we return, and we'll find out who can make the crucial plays down the stretch and pull out a victory here tonight. You have been listening to the Johnson Insurance Agency halftime report right here on T98 The Bowl. Action here from the Health Center. 1 point lead, and as I mentioned to you in that break, Jeff, had you told me an hour and a half ago we would be 5 of 8 from behind the arc in the first half, I would imagine we would have a double-digit lead, but you just can't tip your hat enough to these Red Devils. They are so well coached. They've played so much basketball together. And Matthew Cart and Drew Hunt have been fantastic here in the first half. Yeah,
15 of our 24 points have come behind the arc. That means we're not getting anything driving to the basket, and we're not getting a whole lot, just from the set post play. So the Vikings have got to figure out what Coach Price is doing to them defensively and get open.
Vikings will have it, moving from our left to right here to begin the second half. From our broadcast position here at the Health Center, court side, Myers triggers it in to Isaiah Casto, and right-hand waist-high dribble for Isaiah, angling near side across the timeline into the front court, picks up his dribble off the good, Good. Looking to get it down to Johnson. Now they reverse it to Anderson. He's single covered on the weak side. Can't convert. Good rebound by Drew Hunt.
And Hunt on the defense that time just pinned Anderson back underneath the backboard where he didn't have a good angle.
Good idea to go weak side as they were denying the basketball to Johnson. The Vikings couldn't convert. Now they get it to Cart. Cart will get a screen from Alfred. Alfred in the paint. Out in the corner to Bennett. 3, got it. They move the basketball so well, Jeff, and they move without the basketball so well.
And you called it 2 or 3 times. We get stagnant and stand.
26-24. Red Devils back on top for the first time since the first quarter. Good, penetrates, takes to the basket, can't convert. Rebounded by Alfred.
And they're getting wide open looks, and we're getting forced opportunities or contested shots.
Cart, pull up, no good. Isaiah Castro with the rebound. Here comes Isaiah quickly into the front court. Off to Good, far corner. Thought about a 3. Now off to Anderson in the paint. Goes 1-on-3. Layup won't go. Gets his own rebound. Putback won't go. Cart comes out of there with it.
Brian Brady didn't even look at the basket that time. He got it and shot it and never looked up.
3 for the Red Devils, and Coach Mullins needs to take a timeout. Full timeout. We'll take 1-2. 28-24. Red Devils lead it. More Viking basketball after this on C98, The Bull. Good teams come out of the break playing well, and the Red Devils have done that here in the second half. 5-0, all of those from Bennett. He has a 3 and a 2. Devils lead it by 4. Force it down to Johnson, double team, left-hand shot up and in.
They can do nothing when he catches it that deep.
That's the high-low action you talked about, big to big. Back to a 2-point Ravenswood lead. Dawson will bring it across the timeline. Left-hand dribble, off to Cart. They're running Isaiah ragged off of these screens. Now Alfred in the paint, reversing it to Bennett with the hot hand. Dawson baseline. Nowhere to go with it. Surrenders his dribble, gets away with the travel. Shot up, no good. Luke with the rebound. Thought he moved his pivot foot, no call. Near corner.
Brian, when we go to help, they are so good about swinging the ball to the open man.
Luke in the paint, floater, no good. Shots we don't typically miss. Alfred with the rebound. 2-point lead. Bennett to Dawson in the corner. Baseline drive. Reversing it back to Cart. No look pass, and it's out of bounds. Maybe Vikings may have caught a break there. I thought we may have touched that.
Luke started to and then backed off of it, but I thought somebody on the backside may have got a hand on it. You're right, Brian, but...
So Hedrick will check in for Isaiah Castro. Coach Mullins didn't like something he saw from his senior point guard. 5:17 to go. Third quarter, 2-point Ravenswood lead. Throw it up to Luke on the block again. Double team, just turns. Puts it up strong, misses, put back up and in.
Tie ball game, 2 possessions. Both times we tried to go inside to Luke and been successful 2 of the 3. I guess 3 possessions.
He has 15, and Jeff, he was getting fouled, and he has remained calm, and that's going to allow him to have a big night tonight here if he doesn't get frustrated. Alfred steps into a 2. 30-28, they lead it.
Every time we go try to double team and help, they get a wide open look.
Brady with the seal. Layup won't go. struggling here tonight. Dawson with the rebound.
They're not calling anything underneath as Brady was hammered on that one. So, Brady, play through
Just
it.
have to play
You're
through it.
6'5", 250 pounds, big man. Show them.
Hunt reverses it to Alfred, takes to the basket. Floater, no good. Good with a great rebound.
Here come the Vikings on the fly as Good pushes it up the left side.
Anderson trying to get it to Johnson. Off the Good, left wing rather. Now on the block they go to Johnson, and they're going to call a foul on Drew Hunt.
Finally they make the call.
Here comes the zone buster. Dylan Casto will check in. Virgil Myers will have a seat.
Look for the lob into Johnson in the post.
Dylan Casto off the inbounds, 3 on the way, in and out. That was down in, popped out. Cart comes out of there with it. Red Devils on the other end, and Good's going to pick up a foul on the perimeter with 3:57 to go here in the third period.
If he gets us in a position where we're chest to chest with him, we're beat.
Yep.
He's just that good and that strong with the basketball.
Here's Alfred trying to get it to Cart. Hedrick guarding Cart. Here's Alfred to Hunt, left wing. Crossover, back out to Alfred. He'll shoot a 3 in the near corner, in and out. Hedrick with a nice block out, and that ball will trail out of bounds.
Vikings trail by 2, 30-28, 3:40 to go here in the third period of play. The Red Devils have came out and outscored the Vikings to start the third period.
7-4 advantage for them so far. 3.5 minutes to go here in the quarter. Good, back to Anderson. Down the block they go to Johnson. High, lays it up and in. No real way to stop that if they move the basketball. They were moving it from side to side and got the one-on-one for Luke. Pretty much easy money at that point for the Vikings.
And we talked about it in the first half. It opens him up when we bring Brady out to that high post.
Here's a 3, left wing from Dawson. Can't leave him open. He buries it. Another 3-point lead now for the Devils. As Ravenswood 7 of 13 from behind the arc, 54% here in the ball game. Casto, Dylan Casto.
And they are not bashful about shooting them either.
Johnson, baseline jumper, up and in. Back to a 1-point game.
Got to get a stop defensively. We have not shown anything defensively for about a quarter and a half.
Drew Hunt, nice drive. Off to Alfred, left wing. Hands it off to Cart. Straight line drive to the basket. Nobody stops him. Lays it up and in.
Yeah.
35-32. Matthew Cart with 12. Hedrick now to Johnson. Or Anderson, rather, to Johnson. Baseline. Reversing it to Dylan Casto. High arcing 3. Off the mark. That one was affected by Cart. Luke with the rebound. Put up and in. Missed shot. Sometimes your best offense.
And that's going to be on Alfred, I believe. That's number 3, I believe.
That will be his third. That's a big foul. So Luke with 21. He'll get one here, and Alfred will have to check out. Bibby in for him. So Myers will check in for Brady Anderson. The big man looking for point number 22. Off the mark. Vikings continue to struggle from the line. 35-34. Hedrick defending Cart. Ravenswood fans unhappy with the contact. So is the bench. Dawson penetrates. Out to Hunt. Look at a wide open 3 straight away. Off the mark. Vikings dodged a bullet. Virgil with the rebound. Vikings chance to grab the lead. 1:42 to go. Clock turning. Third period. Hedrick to Myers.
Wow. A lot of contact.
Down to Johnson. Luke reversing it in the corner to Hedrick. He'll shoot a 3. That one's off the mark.
Our shooters have got to release it. He aimed that thing before he ever got rid of it, and we just got to shoot it if we're going to.
Vikings have a lot of fouls to use. Myers guarding Cart. He pulls up for a 3. Virgil was wanting the foul, looking at the official, and Cart buries a 3 in the process. 38-34. Luke for 3. Too strong. Can't fall in love with the 3-point shot. Bennett with the rebound. Here comes Hunt. into the front court, all the way to the basket, has it deflected out of bounds.
They're not calling anything underneath, partner. Luke got mauled down there by Bibby, and it's not a foul unless they call it, and they're just going to continue to just pound on him in the post.
Trying to get home before the news comes on, is that what you typically say?
Yeah.
38-34 Red Devils. Dylan Castro with the steal, can't stay in bounds. Good defensive play there by the junior. 53.1 to go here in the third. Matthew Cart will check out. Anglin will check in. They will try to get him a couple extra minutes of rest here prior to the break between the third and fourth period. Dawson loses it out of bounds. Turnover, Red Devils.
And if you notice, Brian, when they turn it over, no expression. They just run back, play defense. You don't know that who turned it over or what if you weren't watching the ball game.
Isaiah Castro across the timeline. Virgil Myers with it. Crossover all the way to the basket. And we got Bibby airborne. And a little head and shoulders fake from Virgil. And that'll be a foul on the big fella. That'll be his first. Team's third. That was on the floor. No shots. Probably a good thing for a Viking fan, as we're 1 for 5 from the line here tonight. Virgil, 3 on the way. Got it! Virgil Myers pulls the Vikings back to within a point.
Got to get a stop here.
38-37. Devils will probably hold for the final shot. 31 seconds, clock turning. Bibby to Hunt. Hunt guarded by Good. Left-hand dribble. Off to Anglin. Anglin across the top of the circle. Cut off by Hedrick. Back to Dawson. Guarded by Casto. Now Bennett with it. Guarded by Myers. Off to Bibby. 15 seconds. Dawson. A reach foul is going to be called on Dylan Casto, and that's not a bad foul.
No.
Plenty of fouls to give. 11.5 to go here in the quarter.
And look at the scoreboard. 3-2.
Yep.
They haven't called anything the third quarter.
No, they have not. It has been a very physical game. 11.6 to go. Bennett will inbound on the far side into Anglin. Anglin, unforced, loses it out of bounds. Coach Mick Price cannot believe it.
Big guys back in the game for the Vikings, trying to steal a bucket here with 10 seconds to go.
Good, and Isaiah Castro will check out. So this would be a big boost if the Vikings can have the lead going into the fourth. 9 seconds. Myers to Anderson. Down to Johnson on the block. He's going to be fouled by Drew Hunt with 6.4 to go. And that's not a bad foul.
That's a great foul.
Vikings will have to inbound it.
Except it's number 3 on Hunt.
Anglin will come out. Bibby will come in. 6.4 to go. Hedrick will inbound under his own basket. Nowhere to go with it. Floats it into Anderson, and Brady's going to be called for the push-off. A good count. Good call. Definitely an offensive foul on Brady, and the Vikings turn it back over with 5.7. So Good and Good checks back in the ball game, along with Isaiah Casto. 38-37, Devils lead it. Bennett into Dawson, guarded by Casto. Picks up his dribble into the front court to Bennett. Good with the steal.
There's a foul.
And a foul is going to be called on Bennett as time expires. And kind of a harmless foul, Jeff, but that's tack one on here as we go to the fourth period.
It's a team foul, too.
Officials, it's going to be on 5, and that will be team foul number 5, Jeff. So they're going to be shooting free throws here and a couple more fouls. Good play by Cade Good. So they're going to put a second back on. Actually, see how much time they'll put back on the clock. 6 seconds, 0.6 seconds. The Coach Mick Price out on the floor. Official just politely asked him to back up. Isaiah from half court, shot on the way, in and out. And the Vikings trail by a point as we go to the fourth. We got a good one cooking here at the Health Center, 37. Red Devils lead it. More Viking basketball after this. C98, the Bolt. As advertised, Jeff, through 3 quarters, 2 good teams going at it here tonight. Standing room only at the Health Center, and it looks like it's coming down to the final shot here in this ball game. Both teams battling 15-13 advantage in that third period for the Red Devils, and they have a 1-point lead.
Yeah, they sure do, and the Vikings kind of figured it out there midway through that period and crawled right back into this game. You know, Ravenswood was on the verge of eking out a little bit of a lead here, and you know how hard Coach Price is to beat when he's got a 7-8 point lead going into the final quarter. So good job by the Vikings getting back in this game. We got to get some stops right here.
So it appears that for whatever reason, Drew Hunt will have to, we're going to give him a break, but he's going to have to come in the ball game. I'm not sure what.
I think they substituted.
So here we go. Red Devils with it, moving right to left. Alfred straight away in the corner to Bennett. Bennett guarded by Isaiah Casto. Isaiah picks his pocket. Here comes the left-hander. Cart behind him. He lays it up and in. Vikings lead it.
And that's the kind of pressure you can give. That's not Cart handling the ball.
39-38. Alfred with it. Cut off by Anderson. Back to Bennett. Hands it off to Cart. Cart double teamed, and a foul going to be called on the Vikings. That'll be on Isaiah. That'll be his first, team's fourth. Fouls to burn, 7:30 to go. Vikings up 39-38. Off to Hunt. Hunt across the top of the circle. Cart in the corner, penetrates, pulls up, 15-footer. Got it. Boy, he's good, Jeff. I tell you what, he's as good a guard as we've seen all season long.
He's the real deal. We knew it last year. Well, we get the same treatment right here.
Virgil, Red Devils back on top. Back to Good, 3, right wing, too strong. Brady with the rebound, put back up and in. The big fella, that might get him going.
And a foul.
And that, we'll see who that is on. That's going to be on Hunt. That's a big foul. I believe that's his fourth. Third, excuse me. So Brady with 6 points now. He'll go to the line looking to increase the Viking lead to a bucket. Rolls one across the front of the rim. We finally get one to fall. 42-40. Vikings back on top. Now they have to play defense. Into the front court. Dawson. Trying to get it to Bennett. Bennett in the corner to Hunt. Hunt guarded by Good. Baseline drive. Reversing it back out to Alfred. Now he reverses it to Dawson for 3. In and out. Anderson. Wow. Anderson can't come down with the rebound, and Cart gets it off the carom and gets a lay-in. Tie ball game.
He couldn't come down with the rebound because Alfred came over his back, slapped it out of there.
42-42. Johnson on the block. One-on-one.
It's going to call offense.
You knew that was coming. There was the flop as the foul is going to be called, and they've talked about that, Jeff. They've even worked on. They know the flop's coming. Officials love to call it. And just a great play by Logan Alfred. 42-42, Red Devils chance to grab the lead. Timeout, full timeout, Coach Mick Price.
And that was a tough call on Johnson that time. All he did was turn.
6:21 to go in the ball game. We're tied at 42. We'll step out. More Viking basketball after this on C98, The Bolt.
Ball Toyota is here.
Show a little bit of frustration, Jeff. He's been getting grabbed and smacked on the offensive end, and he turns and they call the offensive foul. And you oftentimes feel like when a big guy is not getting those calls, it's because he's a foot taller than everyone else, and it's almost like the officials feel sorry for the defender.
Yeah, and he's not supposed to be put at a disadvantage just because he's tall. And that was a very, very typical call that we see quite often against a bigger man.
Here's Cart with the basketball, picks up his dribble off to Dawson, right wing. He'll go to work on Johnson, into the paint, head and shoulders fake, nowhere to go with it. Back to Alfred, back to Hunt. Now Dawson with it again, left wing. Cut off, baseline drive, all the way to the basket. Nobody stopped the basketball. 2-point lead for the Red Devils.
Absolutely tonight, and we talked to Jameson Hunt at halftime. He's saying there's supposed to be help defense there. We haven't seen any help defense tonight from the Vikings.
Luke Johnson gets the inbounds. A little floater on the baseline, ties it back at 44. Luke with 23 here tonight. Alfred back to Dawson, left of the circle. Drive to the basket, picks up his dribble. Now back to Hunt in the corner. He'll drive to the basket, spins into the paint, cut off by Luke. Wild shot. Wow, what a shot. Circus by Drew Hunt. He has 8 points here tonight. Red Devils back out by a bucket, 46-44. Brady drives to Casto, near corner. Back to Good. Now Myers, Johnson. Vikings throw it away. That is what could not happen. We have to match them offensively because we're not stopping them on the defensive end.
Nope. Our man-to-man defense. We're so worried about Cart beating us that we lose other people. And no help defense. If you're on Cart, you're not helping.
You get to the point where you just let Cart get his and stop everyone else. As Bennett has it, cross court to Alfred. Now Dawson, he'll drive at the elbow, picks up his dribble. Cart with it. Virgil guarding him. He'll get a screen from Dawson. Back to Dawson, right of the circle. Thought about a three. Back to Alfred. Now Cart, he'll step into a three. That one's off the mark. And the Viking fans letting him have it. He hasn't missed all night.
And all we did was play solid on him. We didn't go up underneath him to give him an opportunity to get by.
Ball deflected off the head of Dawson, and it stays here with the Vikings. Alfred with the deflection, 4:13 to go in the game.
I know that Brady's a big guy, and he can throw it over the top there, but that's a tough pass for him inside.
Ball deflected by Cart, gathered in by Good. Good. 4:03 to go. Down to Johnson, double team. Has his legs cut out from under him, and they're going to call a tie-up. I don't know how they can allow that to happen. He goes up to get the ball, and they just block him out and cut his legs out from under him. Tie-up. It stays with the Vikings.
It shouldn't happen. That's a foul. But that guy's not going to call that. He ain't called it all night. He called the charge just a minute ago.
He has been consistent. Here's Good. Corner three. Short. No good. Luke pulls in the rebound. Tie up.
Now they're going to call a reach-in foul.
Now the reach. I thought they were going to call a tie-up. Feel like we got to get Dylan Casto in the ball game.
Going to be on Cart. Yeah, I mean, our guys are just aiming it. It's, we talked about before the game, it's the old hope shot. I'm shooting it down just hoping that I get it to fall in because there has been no confidence from the perimeter from our jump shooters.
30-second timeout.
And I hate that, brother. I mean, I really hate it because we didn't do that early in the game, and we didn't do that in Lincoln County. We caught it and let it fly. Now, there's a difference in shooting it when you're up 20 and when you're down 2. It makes it a little more difficult to stroke that thing in.
46-44, 3:55 to go in the ball game.
We are in the bonus for the next 3.5 minutes.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Vikings 2 of 6 from the line. Luke tonight 1 of 3 from the stripe. So a little off for him as well. He has a chance to get to 25 and tie this one up with a couple of free throws. The Vikings senior, 1 dribble, shot on the way, good. A little bit more rhythm there for Luke.
Yep, sure was.
46-45, he has 24.
Now, you tell me who Ravenswood has on the line that can block 21 out if he wants to get in there.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't have, they don't have that, but they got to watch the flop. We're tied.
And I'm glad he didn't have to.
Luke makes both. 3:48 to go. Here's Alfred. He'll go to work on Anderson. Picks up his dribble. Back cut from Bennett. Good defense. And a foul is going to be called on Virgil Myers, who got beaten defensively. And great
Virgil,
back cut.
We've said it all year. Virgil has a tendency of watching the game and losing his guy. And crucial situation, you can't do that.
So a chance to make it a 3-point game. Bennett at the line, the left-hander. Short arms it. Luke high with the rebound. From the Vikings back the other way, trailing by 2. Trying to force it down the block.
You can't make that pass against a good defensive team.
Vikings continue to, what's the definition of insanity, Jeff? To continue to do the same thing, expect a different result? That's what we've been doing here tonight, trying to make that pass. And it's defended beautifully by Ravenswood as Coach Mick Price wants a 30-second timeout. 3:22 to go here in the ball game. 48-46, they lead it. Boy, emotions are high here tonight. Coaches screaming at each other. Officials getting screamed at by both sides. And it's a 2-point game.
Brian, in a close ball game, the one thing you can't do, you can go down and you can miss a shot. You can't get caught sleeping on defense. And when you do, it's very detrimental in this type of game because usually it turns a 1 possession into a 2 possession. Then you come down, turn it over, or force a shot. Next thing you know, you're down 3 possessions. And it all happened because 1 defensive possession, we did not guard the basketball. And Coach Price has schooled this team to go to the basket if you catch them with their head turned, and they're very good at it.
More than once we've been beaten on straight line drives. They get it into Cart. Vikings cheat. Can't come up with it on defense. And there's Drew Hunt. Drives straight to the basket. Nobody defends it. 4-point Ravenswood lead. Drew Hunt in double figures with 10. There's Myers, left wing. Down to Johnson on the block. Dunks it home. 2-hand flush.
I think he's getting a little tired of getting held.
He has 27.
But where was the entry pass?
From the wing.
Yes.
As you said, exactly where it needs to come from. Alfred, 2:50 to go. They're going to take the air out of the basketball. They'll go to work on Anderson. And foul's going to be called on Brady.
And that's going to be 1-on-1.
That'll be his second. Team 7th. And that'll put the Devils at the line with a chance to increase the lead to 4. Logan Alfred.
They got nobody at the line on 1-on-1. They've got all kinds of confidence in Alfred making this one.
And we can see why, as he has 6 points now. Senior calmly steps in and buries it. 3-point Ravenswood lead. 2:42 to go. Second one on the way. Never a doubt. 52-48 Ravenswood. Comes Isaiah Casto into the front court. Right wing rather. in the corner. Now Isaiah shoots a three off the mark. Probably not the shot they were looking for, but they gave it to him and he took it. 52-48. 2:15 to go. Here's Dawson, drive to the basket.
No call.
Can't connect. Virgil tries to take a charge. In the backcourt, all kinds of contact with Luke, and then a makeup call and a double triple with Alfred. Officials knew they blew that one, so they made it up.
That was terrible. That was not a walk.
No, he didn't even have the basketball. So the Vikings staying alive. 2 minutes to go in the ballgame. Down 4. Luke, double team. Shot up, no good. Off to Ravenswood. Can't make a shot as Dylan Casto will check in. 1:55 to go. Hedrick in as well.
Vikings going defense here. Small ball. Trying to create a turnover with a minute 55 down. 4 points.
Inbound to Dawson. Guarded by Casto. Harassing him, nearly loses the handle. And a foul call in the backcourt on Dylan Casto.
That's a technical.
Is it a double technical? Or?
Yeah, that's terrible, though. You call it on Dawson, who started the chatter. If you want to stop it, the other official saw it. The trail official comes up, and he calls a double technical, which we all know what that is.
Yes. So Dawson gets a technical.
That's like calling
Offsetting penalties in
offsetting
football.
penalties in football, personal foul. You know, you don't stop anything when you do that. They both get away with it. And I didn't see Dylan saying anything, but I saw Dawson say something immediately and continued to chatter all the way down the floor.
So Dylan definitely said something. I'm not sure what he said, but he did say something to him as Hedrick will check out. Luke checks back in. .150 to go in the ball game. 52-48. Dawson off the mark. Luke with the rebound. Finally missed one. 4-point game. Vikings trail.
Got to show some urgency here.
1:44 to go. Dylan in the corner rather for three. In and out. Isaiah keeps it alive, and it's off to Alfred, and a foul is going to be called on Isaiah.
I guess if the guy's falling, you call a foul.
1:35 to go. Viking student section giving it to the officials a little bit.
Yeah.
Alfred goes to the line. 2-possession game. Off the mark.
That's 10 fouls.
10
Okay.
fouls. So they're getting a little cold from the line here all of a sudden, allowing the Vikings to hang around.
We've had opportunities, buddy, to cut into this lead due to the misses.
Luke with the rebound.
Got to get a score here.
Got to get a bucket some way or another. Isaiah into the paint at the free throw line. Out to Dylan Casto. Back to Isaiah right at the circle.
Nope.
Back to Isaiah, top circle, who penetrate into the paint. Floater, too strong. Rebounded by the Vikings. Isaiah back to Luke, lays it up and in.
And a timeout.
How did he get his own rebound? I was blocked out, but he gets his own rebound, and it's a 2-point game.
Athleticism and desire. He just wasn't going to be denied.
Timeout by the Viking bench, full timeout. We'll keep it here, Jeff. 2-point game. And the Vikings sitting here right now, 4 of 8 from the charity stripe with 9 turnovers and a rebounding advantage of 10. You got a plus 10 on the rebounding. You're plus 2 on turnovers, and you're trailing by a bucket here on your home court. after being 8 of 17, or Ravens was 8 of 17 from behind the arc. The Vikings 6 of 18.
Yeah, went dead stone cold on the perimeter shooting. The big number that I see up there, Brian, is 10 fouls on the Vikings, only 8 on the Red Devils. We're still in the 1-1 for 2 more fouls. So we got to get a stop here defensively. Let's see what Coach Mullins and the coaches Hunt over there have drawn up as the Vikings come out of this timeout.
How good has Luke Johnson been tonight? 29 points, 11 rebounds. He has kept us in this ballgame.
And been fouled multiple times and held. And, he probably is looking at a 40-point night if it's a closely called game, because he's going to be at the foul line a whole bunch.
Yeah, he probably, right now, Jeff, sitting on 5 free throws, he probably should have 6 or 7 more here tonight, I would imagine. Devils will inbound it under their own basket into Cart. Isaiah Castro guarding him tightly. They're trying to get the ball out of his hands. In the corner, they go to Alfred. He'll dribble it back out to Bennett. Now Dawson with it. Dip under a minute to go in the ball game.
Not a fouling.
Dawson, and a foul is going to be called on Cade Good, and that's probably the guy they want to put at the line so far.
Well, they had Dawson. They had Alfred also, who just missed 2, and tried to foul him, and the officials wouldn't blow the whistle.
So Dawson will go to the line for 2 as Coach Price will chat with his players here on the sideline. Nobody under the basket wearing black and red. He misses it. Big fella back into the ball game.
Well, make or miss, it's still a 1-possession game for the Vikings. They can tie it up on the next possession regardless.
Dawson, second one, good. 53-50. I don't think you got to go for the 3 here, Jeff. There's still plenty of time left in this ball game. You can shorten it, or lengthen it rather, by getting the Devils to the line. Isaiah off to Myers. Myers passing the corner to Good. Maybe got away with the travel. Loses it under the basket. The Devils on the end line as they were trying to scoop it in.
And you got to question what was going. He passes up a good look to dribble into pressure.
So Hedrick will come in for Good.
And you're right, buddy. We don't need a 3. We don't necessarily need a 3 with 37 seconds to go. I mean, we can still put them at the foul line.
Dylan Castro in the near corner. You can see Cart.
Or what would be real good is to score the 2 and then go down and play really good defense and get the ball back.
Coach McPrice is going to take a timeout and chat with his team. 53-50. 37.9 to go. Full timeout. Let's take one more. You've been listening to Viking basketball right here on C98, The Bull. 53-50. They trail it. It'll be Isaiah Castro to trigger it in. Into Dylan Castro. Trying to set up a play for him. Nowhere to go with it. Down to Johnson on the block. Lays it up and in. 1-point game.
30-second timeout called by the Vikings.
You really could not have designed that any better, Jeff. You got a quick basket. You didn't force a three. And you got back to within a point and only melted about 2 seconds off the clock.
That's exactly right. Good play by the Vikings and a good job by Dylan of recognizing what was there and knowing that when they scattered to come out and guard them on the three, that left Luke Johnson wide open in the low post. So the Vikings insert Parker Boyd into the lineup as an additional defender.
Parker's super athletic. They get, let's see who came out of the ball game. Luke
Johnson
came out. Protect him from fouls.
And we cannot give up an easy one off this.
Here's Bennett looking to get it inbound to Cart. Hedrick guarding him.
Don't want to foul him. Don't want to foul him in the
Parker
backcourt.
guarding Cart. And a timeout in the backcourt.
6.
Now they're going to say a foul. What came first, the foul or the timeout? Good piece of officiating as the official called the timeout. 24.5 to go. The Ravenswood fans not thrilled. Full timeout. He's getting an earful from behind the Ravenswood bench. 53-52. 24.5 to go, and Luke Johnson will check back into the ball game. 31 points for the senior tonight. Matthew Cart with 19. Boy, it makes if we could combine these two high schools, they're a good basketball team, wouldn't we?
Yeah, very good. Now, here's the situation, Brian. They call timeout. They'd run 6 seconds, almost 7 off the clock. And now they're going to get 10 seconds.
Right.
I hate that rule.
Yeah.
If you call timeout in the backcourt and you're in jeopardy of getting a 10-second call in any way, it ought to be counted against you. It's not hard to get. Exactly.
Pick up right where the timeout was.
Because I'm going to inbound it. If we're winning a game by 1, I'm going to inbound it. And if they don't foul me, I'm going to stand there 9 seconds and call timeout.
How big does 4 of 8 from the line loom right now in a 1-point game? 24.5 to go. Bennett will inbound it. Near wing. Cart. Little chicken wing got away with it as he hooked Virgil. No call. Ball fumbled into the hands of Drew Hunt. Dribbles it off his foot. What a break for the Vikings. He's trapped in the corner. 15.8 to go. I mean, everybody in the gym knows where this basketball is going.
And you don't have Brady in the game.
Isaiah into the front court. Penetration. Off to Dylan Casto in the corner. Back to Isaiah. 7 seconds. Into the paint. Virgil. Straightaway 3. Off the mark. Luke with the rebound. Taps up and in. Ravenswood inbounds at Cart from three-quarter court. No good. The Vikings survive somehow, some way. The big fella tips it in with 33 points tonight.
What a ball game.
And the Vikings are going to walk out of here 6-0 for the first time since 1964 and 65. We'll step out. Viking head coach Derek Mullins after this on C98, The Bull.
Hey, guys.
WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital post-game report continues just like you drew it up, Coach, right?
No, not at all. I didn't show up anything for that. I told Isaiah to get to the hole, and then Luke just go get an offensive rebound if Luke or Zay doesn't get there or misses it. But
You mean the plan wasn't for Virgil to shoot the three?
no, that wasn't either. I don't even know what was going on. We didn't play the greatest game, but again, you got to find a way to win the ugly ones, and this was an ugly one tonight. We executed a little bit, still didn't work out in our game plan, but again, W is a W at the end of the day.
Coach, you're 6-0. First time since Ripley High School's been 6-0. The only person at this table or in this interview that was alive is Jeff Waybright. 1964, 1965 was the last time the Vikings started 6-0.
Jeez Whiz. That's hard to believe.
And I don't even remember it. I was 5, but I don't remember it. Coach, what a ball game. You know, we watched the whole second half as Ravenswood run that methodic type of offense. And I tell you, if you get caught watching the paint dry on defense, they're going to backdoor you and get an easy one. Yeah, we saw that happen 3 or 4 times down here. No help, but our kids came back and just fought and scrapped. And when they needed the turnover, they got it.
Yeah, our defense wasn't the greatest tonight. When they were driving, we were sticking too much in the gap, and rather than getting a hay drill, our hay drill getting in, getting out to the shooters, and they were making shots. And I told them in the second half, we got to do a better job of staying in the gap. But when we get in the gap, hay drill, get out, have a hand in the face. But we still have a long ways to go. We didn't guard very well tonight. Coach Mick Bryce does an excellent job of moving the ball and attacking whenever he does have the ball. But again, a win's a win.
That's right.
How good is Matthew Cart tonight? I mean, he's fantastic.
Oh, he's a heck of a ball player. He's worked at his game from freshman year on, and he just keeps getting better and better. I mean, he lives in the gym, and that was our ultimate goal, was to stop him. I don't know how many points he had. I'm sure he had close to 20. If
he had 19.
Yeah, he had 19. I know he had 11 in the first half, and he had too many touches in the first half, and we tried to stop it a little bit, but he does a good job of getting into us, getting out, getting the ball, and just attacking off of it. He makes a lot of things happen for that team.
You slowed him down in the second half especially. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't getting off wide open looks like he did in the first half for threes, which kept us in the ball game. But what about Luke Johnson? What about that kid? I mean, he's held, he's pushed, he's undercut the whole game, kept his cool, played through it, and then finishes with the tip in.
Yeah, Luke, I mean, he battled. I'm telling you, he's a whole different kid from freshman year until now. He would have been whining and complaining a couple years ago, and he just keeps fighting and fighting and fighting because he's getting fouled every time he's down there.
Yep.
Every time he's down there because everybody's smaller than him, and I think whenever he's bigger, he don't get all the calls that he should be getting. He should be living at the free throw line, but he did an excellent job whenever we were moving the ball from the high to low to really having good positioning inside, whether they were fronting him and he would move it off that front and we could get that high-low off of it. But he kept us in the ball game. He kept us alive all the way throughout.
Coach, what does a win like this do for you? You got about a week off. I think you're back at it next week down at Scott, I believe, on Tuesday night.
Yep.
Big game.
So you got a week to kind of evaluate the tape and maybe do a few things here or there, make a few wrinkles in that offense or defense. But what does a win like this do for you to get to 6-0 in the fashion that you did it? You had to fight and scratch for everything, especially in the second half.
It's huge. It's huge. Like you said, we got Scott coming up on Tuesday. That's a really good team, state tournament team, regional opponent. They got a heck of a player, just like Matthew Cart, Reese Carden. He was a first-team All-Stater. He's just as good, if not better, than Cart. But this is huge for us. We can't be complacent. We cannot be complacent. We can't just be satisfied with being 6-0, winning all these close games. We need to find a way to get better. Our practices these past 2 days, it's on me. I didn't do a good job of keeping them motivated and keeping them with the energy that we need to have. And I think that's why we came out a little bit flat. But it starts with me. I got to do a better job in practice.
You burned some of those Christmas calories tonight.
Oh, my gosh. You can see it on my forehead.
Coach, congratulations. Your team's 6-0.
Thank you.
Got a big win here tonight against Ravenswood Red Devils.
Big win.
Thank you to Coach Derek Mons for taking the time to chat with us. And, Jeff, you really can't, even in his eye, I think he's just shocked. And I think everyone in the gym was shocked. How on earth did we win that game? We had no business winning that game. Ravenswood was controlling the second half. Even though it was a 1 or 2 possession game, it felt like we had to fight and scrap so hard to get anything. And
Brian, you said it. When Isaiah went in there and missed a shot, somehow got his rebound, and you said, how did that happen? That's how we won that game.
Yeah.
It was effort like that, not only from him, but from everyone. The last defensive stand down here, they almost turned it over before they turned it over. And then after they turned it over, we bring it down. No timeout, no nothing. Just bring it down. Get the shot off by Virgil. As Coach said, wasn't exactly the shot they wanted. I think they wanted some penetration by Isaiah Casto. And then Luke go clean it up if he missed it. But Luke was there to clean up the missed shot. And unbelievable. I don't know. Only that we just effort, guts, just kept playing hard the whole game. So hats off to the Vikings. Hats off to the Red Devils. They came in here with a perfect game plan. They were ready to play. We knew Coach Price would have them ready to go. Matthew Cart, tremendous player. Hunt, another good player, just steady. They don't have anyone other than Cart that's really going to beat you off the bounce and go get you one whenever you need it. But overall, they played a perfect game up until the last 13 seconds.
Sets up a pretty interesting game later in the season. We go over to the pit. There ought to be emotions to burn when we go over there that night. This has set up for what could be a really fun game over there in a month or so.
Yeah, without a doubt, big ball game. So looking forward to it, partner. They're fun to watch. I don't know if my blood pressure medicine will need to be increased, but what a win here tonight.
6-0 for the first time since 1964 and 65 are your Ripley Vikings. Congratulations to the Red Devils. A great showing here tonight, and we always love having Mick Price in town. We have so much respect for that man and the program that he runs. Good to have the Bloxtons here as well tonight. As they've dropped 2 in a row, they will look to get back on the winning track here soon. The Vikings, next broadcast will be at Scott High School next Tuesday night. The Ripley Viking WVU Medicine Jackson General Hospital countdown to tip-off will begin at 7 p.m., and Jeff and I will have all of that action for you at 7:30. We say special thanks to all of our sponsors of Viking basketball on C98 The Bull. Special thanks to Rick Shannon, our station manager, who is doing well on the mend, and he's going to be back at it soon, so we can't wait to see him back.
And, buddy, you couldn't have picked a better game to bring them 2 youngins to start initiation on basketball.
I think they're wired up. Can they go home with you tonight?
Fine, I'll take them.
Folks, thanks for being with us. A great win tonight for the Vikings. They improved to 6-0. Enjoy the new year. Everyone have a safe and healthy, happy new year, and we will see you in 2023. For Jeff Waybright, I'm Brian Johnson. Have a great night. God bless.